Sharp, of course, one of the leading companies in the LCD TV sector, always has the latest technologies in this segment, and many others are leaders as well. We learned back at CeBIT in Hanover a few months ago in solar energy as well. I mean, they're doing a lot as it relates to technology. The CEO for Germany and Austria, always a pleasure to have him on the program from Sharp Electronics, Frank Bolten. Frank, welcome back into Tomorrow. How are you?
I'm very fine. It was a fantastic show so far, and I'm very happy to be here again.
Well, we're glad to have you because there's always lots to talk about with Sharp, and that's good because you always have some very fine products. But here you're making news yet again. Back in CeBIT, as I mentioned, you were introducing the largest LCD in the world at 108 inches.
Yes.
And it's spectacular. You had 3 or 4 of them in the booth, and it was truly awesome to be looking at that. Of course, everyone wants one for their living room, but everyone has to peel the roof off to get it in, right? So maybe not so much for the average home, but the fact is that it's amazing and that you can do it, and it looks spectacular. Now, here at IFA, Sharp introduces the world's thinnest LCD, measuring less than 1 inch thick. How do you do that? I mean, it's truly amazing. Not only was it a brilliant picture, of course, and that's the key in any display, but less than 1 inch thick. It's truly awesome.
Yeah, Sharp is dedicated to really following the vision of a frameless LCD TV and a super ultra slim LCD TV. And our engineers are working on LCD TV since more than 40 years now. Or on LCD, not on LCD TV. LCD TV more than 10 years now. And this gives us a kind of technological ahead position. And yeah, I myself was totally really kind of positive shocked when I saw this super slim 2 centimeters thick LCD with a very, very thin frame.
Yeah.
And you've got additional advantages. Of course, the weight is much lighter now. It's half of the weight you had before. It's just 25 kilogram, 52 inch. And the power consumption is very much reduced. It's cut by half, which is more and more important. You know, we are a very ecologic-oriented company, and therefore it's extremely important as well. And we have a super high contrast ratio, static contrast ratio of 100,000 by 1. So you can imagine that all of our competitors have been there and were very much impressed. And when we launched it on the press conference, I was lucky to be in the stage as well. And when we put on the curtain and showed the new product, nobody had seen it beforehand. Yeah. And I looked in 400 wow faces. That was really great.
In fact, that's a classic example of how you can, if you can impress the media like that, because we don't impress all that easily, obviously. But and you were right, we had so many people going, wow, all at once, or holy cow, or, you know, it's just amazing. Everybody was in awe of it. And of course, because you were turning it sideways, so we could truly see how thin it was. It wasn't like, okay, go run up on the stage and look and see. No, it was awesome to be able to do that. And as you mentioned, being a very ecological concerned company, environmentally concerned company, it's also amazing that it uses half the energy.
Yes.
Now, this is obviously some major improvement in the LCD end of this category of displays, because we're talking about half the weight, using half the energy, and less than 1 inch thick, and not quite yet available, right? I mean, this is not something we can buy at the moment, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, so I'm not that sure whether we can make it this Christmas business. So to be honest, we are just launched that we will start a new fab, so-called 10th generation in Sakai nearby Osaka. The biggest investment Sharp ever did for LCD. So we are going to invest 2.5 billion euros, which is around 3 billion or more than 3 billion US dollar, and that will be 10th generation, so much bigger mother glasses, and all the related industry will be there as well. They invest the same amount of money, so it's one of the biggest invest ever done in that industry.
Wow.
The size of the fab will be, of the total area will be 4 times what we have. It's the biggest size for LCD TV so far in Kameyama, and that will be, with this fab we will be able to produce that kind of products, but we don't announce any precise date or any precise price at this moment of time.
But maybe we can hopefully hope for something like this in time for next Christmas shopping season. season.
That would be extremely great, but I think then the one or other competitor would shut down the booth here at IFA next year. Might be a little bit later, but that's right. It's extremely exciting, like the products we announced here for this Christmas business.
For example, what is going to be available in time for this holiday season?
That is the step in between. So it is clearly the strategy of Sharp to go in the direction of thin bezel and slim cabinet. So we reduce very much the depth of the LCD TV. So to calculate an inch, we have at this moment of time actual product in place, which are the best-selling Full HD products in Europe. It's around 5-inch depth, and we go down to 3 point something, so 8 centimeters, so 3.3 inch or something like this. Yeah. So this is a big improvement, but further to come.
Sure.
And the bezel is the frame is much smaller, and that gives a big advantage to the consumer. So where so far only a 42-inch LCD or plasma could take place, now a 46-inch LCD can sit. And that is a good advantage, a bigger size, but same place.
Sure. And of course, when you talk about building new factories to be able to support new LCDs and larger sizes in glass, understandably, the enormous investment is involved there because you've got to actually have bigger glass to start with.
Yes.
And that's terribly expensive still, right?
Yes, it is, but of course a lot of efficiency goes with it, so that drives the prices down as well. So we can foresee that big screens, which are today already not so much expensive anymore, so you can buy a 46-inch from Sharp now to at 2,300 euro, but the prices in 2 years will be, of course, with these new additional steps will be even lower.
That's one of the things amazing about this industry.
But they would not will be lower. In our case, will be our quality. So we are really dedicated to quality because we are speaking about the living room, and the people want to feel fine. They want to have nice products around. So for us, design and materials and that kind of thing, this is a no-go to reduce there. But just to drive costs.
That's a good point. You're not cutting corners in quality. No. It's just the nature of this business to provide products less expensively, more features, and of course, in the long run, benefit us consumers. Yep. And if you guys can make a little money on the line on this at the same time, great. But let's face it, the consumer just...
For Sharp, it's the nature of the business, not for everybody, but since we are really running LCD TV, we are making money, and that should be like this in the future as well.
Very true. Now, there's also accessories, of course, like Blu-ray disc players, and Sharp, not to be outdone, has introduced new Blu-ray disc players. There are some very interesting things happening in that end of the world as well. Of course, you chose to go Blu-ray as opposed to HD DVD. Any particular reasoning there, or can you tell us how that happened?
So we are quite sure that Blu-ray will make the race in the midterm, and we see a lot of film studios really committed to Blu-ray. And our new Blu-ray player, what we announced here on IFA this year, is a very well-featured product, and it runs, for instance, 24p, which is very much important for the pictures taken for cinema. So it is really the best possible quality by 24 pictures displaying, which, by the way, our new TV sets do as well.
Yeah.
And we have got things like Quick Start as well, so you don't have to wait that long to make the machine run. And Blu-ray is now more and more coming to the focus of the people, because with the big screens, with the high resolution, the people, of course, want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where that full HD really comes in when we're talking 1080p, as a lot of our listeners are concerned about. And you're going to get that with the next generation of DVD players, in this case, Blu-ray, of course.
Exactly.
So what's next then in the evolution of Sharp? Where are you guys headed into tomorrow? Certainly more in the way of LCDs, more in the way of support for Blu-ray, but anything else you can share with us?
Yeah, for us, the Aquos family will grow. So of course the evolution of Aquos will be there. We did show or do show here our vision of 2010, let's say like this. So this is the ultra slim one, and there will be 1 or 2 steps in between. And what will be more and more important for us is really Aquos HiFi equipment, because we understand that with having that very nice LCD TVs at home, the people want to have brilliant sound as well, and we have got technology, as you probably, and I do know like 1-bit audio and that kind of technology, we will more and more bring to the market to be a strong home cinema supplier.
Terrific. Well, moretosee.com is certainly a very accurate website to visit if you're in the European area, of course. You're going to see more at that site. Back in the U.S., of course, it'll be directing you to the English version of that site as well. moretosee.com and, of course, sharp.com, among others, will get you there. Come by our site. We'll link you to Frank's site, and you'll see all that he and his team are working so hard on, not only here at IFA, but on a regular basis. And we look forward, as always, to having you back on the show, and thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
I'm happy.
Terrific.
All the best to you.
Thank you, Frank. Frank Bolten, the CEO of Germany and Austria from Sharp Electronics. I'm Dave Graveline. We're back with more from IFA Berlin right here into tomorrow, continuing on the Advanced Media Network.